when they built the 429, there were several different nurseries that got bulldozed when they eminent domained the property to pave a really big highway through that area. And one of those nurseries had been the largest grower of pink princess in the world for a super long time. And the lady called my dad up. I still remember the day we went over there and grabbed them, and they were like, hey, this is kind of like a weird plant. Not everyone's really into it. Sometimes you got to kind of go through and throw away the ones that don't produce good variegation. So it's like, it's not really like a commercial crop. Like, you know, you can stick any other philodendron pothos, root it in, sell it. You know, that is a much quicker turnaround. This is like kind of more nuanced and that kind of thing. But if you want the, you know, our old stock plants of it, swing by, I'll sell them to you really cheap. So all the original 8-inch baskets here with the hangers on them, those are all some of the original pink princess hanging baskets. And you can see that to this day, we've sold tens of thousands of them, and they produce some of the best variegate. I mean, this basket is probably 20 years old at this point.
That's crazy.
And it's still like the best variegation we possibly could. So we'd been growing them, selling them in like a 6-inch with like 5 cuttings for $6.50 back in like 2016, 2017. And all of a sudden in 2017, 2018, we couldn't keep them in stock anymore. It went from like this side project of dad's that he never sold to like actually like super popular. And finally a broker called me and was like, you know why everyone's like going crazy? Because she was asking how to pre-order them, and I was like, I can't really do that. Like, we're so far behind on these. We at one point, this was like 4 or 5 different benches of pink princess, and we had gone from that to having basically nothing but the originals in like 2 to 3 months. And she was like, well, you know why that is, right? And I'm like, no. She was like, well, people online are selling a cutting for $100. And I was like, you're kidding me. And in that moment, half of it was like, obviously the price difference, right? But the other half of it was like, wait, there's online plants? Like, you can do plants. I'm waiting on a fax machine or a landline phone call that I have to run and try to pick up before it like you know what I mean? Before it goes to voicemail. So I started Googling plants, and I was like, oh my God, this is actually a thing, which makes total sense. I'm a millennial. Like, why didn't I think of plants online? And in 2018, I spent like the next 6 hours, made a logo, started an Etsy store, sold 10 pink princess 6-inch pots with 5-6 stems in each one. I mean, some of the best ones I'd ever done. They all sold out with 24 hours. And I was like, this is great. And then in the next couple moments, I was like, oh my God, how do you ship this in the mail? I've never had to do that before. So needless to say, those original ones all died in transit, but we learned a lot along the way. It's kind of what started it all, but back then we only grew like 13 different species. Right now in the greenhouse, last count, around 415 or so species growing at once.